Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on X. Also, Instagram and Thread. So you can get us at any of those socials. Biggest news of the day. This is breaking because it happened early in the morning our time. But the U.S. women's soccer team, with a 0-0 tie, backs their way into the next round.
Wow.
So they beat Vietnam.
Okay.
And they tied Netherlands and Portugal, both. And that's how they got in. So they're 1-0-2.
And the score was 0-0.
Once again, yes.
That's a good score right there.
Yep. Isn't it, though? It just shows what a great game soccer is. Oof. Man, that had to be thrilling to watch the ball get kicked and get kicked back somewhere else. And then somebody else kicks it the other way, and somebody kicks it again.
Yep.
And then it gets kicked again, but nobody ever scores a goal. Not in the entire 90 minutes.
Now, you just skipped the fake injuries.
Dang it. Right.
The rolling around and grabbing of the leg.
Or nobody touched you. Nobody's within 15 yards of you, and you fall down, and you've been critically injured, and you roll and scream and cry. Yeah, it's wonderful. What a beautiful sport. What a beautiful sport it is.
So I wonder when they play again.
I don't know.
Let me look that up here.
I'm not
Wait,
it doesn't look like you're not touching the keyboard.
I'm not finding out the next game.
Huh.
Shoot.
Weird.
I'll find out and let you know.
I dislike them very much because they're a bunch of anti-American buffoons, it seems to me. And they got permission again to kneel during the national anthem. Congratulations. Good for you. We're still doing the BLM thing?
Yeah.
The only people on Earth. BLM's not even doing the BLM thing.
They have made it, obviously, to the knockout round. So now if they lose, they're done. And they're playing the nation of, who is TBD?
Oh, Trinidad and Tobago?
You like that? He liked that.
Oh, to be decided.
Okay.
No, it's not Trinidad. Sweden or Italy.
Is it? Oh.
Okay, so they haven't played yet?
A lot of info there.
Sweden and Italy?
It's not.
Man, two powerhouse soccer countries, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But, man, have they made us proud or what?
Yeah, Sunday at 4 a.m. Central Time, 5 a.m. Eastern. I bet you will be wide awake.
Up for that.
Put the coffee on, Ma. We're watching the women play soccer.
If it's anything like last match, and that barn burner that was, the 0-0 tie, we're going to be biting our nails the entire match.
I have woken up that early, well, obviously for work, but for an Atlanta Falcons preseason game in Japan once.
Oh, okay.
Which shows you the power of the NFL over women's soccer.
Yeah, no kidding.
An exhibition game.
Day after tomorrow, by the way, NFL preseason begins with the Hall of Fame game, Jets versus Cleveland Browns.
On Thursday, right?
Yep. Cool. And day after tomorrow. So that's Zach Wilson, I think, is going to start.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't play in the preseason. He hasn't played in the preseason since 2018.
Too good for that, huh?
Yeah, it's too good. And he is. So
I don't know. Last year,
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Last year was a little bit off, and you might think, is it because he's 38, 39, 40, 46? How old is that guy now? 38, I think. Right? I'm sure somebody's checking that right now.
Now, see that I'll look up.
All right. Yeah, it's worth looking up.
39.
He's been really good to Zach Wilson, so I can't complain about him right now.
How did that happen?
I don't know. They're friends, and they've been friends since before he even joined the Jets. So it's kind of weird because I think because Zach has made it pretty clear that's his hero, and maybe that that softened him up a bit. So,
did you see the video I showed you or sent to you yesterday of Tyler Algier at the Falcons training camp? And a Utah fan.
I did see that. Yeah, where he
tried to have him
slapped the table. And it's not going to...
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, a Utah fan handed him a hat to sign.
Yeah, and he slammed it down.
Okay.
Yeah. He wouldn't sign it.
Yeah.
That's great. It's great.
That's good stuff.
But they did. They fist bumped afterwards.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
See, I got a very short version of that
okay.
video.
Everything was fine afterwards. Good. It was just a friendly little rivalry. Remember yesterday when we said the clip of Adam Schiff trying to figure out why anyone would want to impeach Joe Biden? We played that for you. Here, he was put there again, showing zero self-awareness when he said this.
I mean, for a long time, it didn't appear clear that they even knew who they wanted to impeach. You know, did they want to impeach Ellie Mayorkas or maybe Merrick Garland or maybe Joe Biden or maybe somebody else? They seem to be an impeachment inquiry in search of a subject and certainly in search of evidence.
My gosh.
He just won't stop. He won't stop with this.
That's unbelievable.
Does he hear himself? No.
Apparently not. I mean, that's outrageous.
Well, even with a lack of evidence, they're still going forward.
Who? Do you know who you are?
Yeah, have you met you?
Have you met you?
Man, for years, he pushed the narrative about the Russian collusion. Said he had the evidence in his possession. He lied. God, man, it's astounding. The Democrat Party is astounding. I mean, Republicans are a heck of a lot better, but at least they don't seem to carry on a lie that's been proven false as a rule. Well, what about the fraudulent election of 2020? They certainly carried that one forward. Yeah, there's a little bit of evidence on that, so that's not exactly the same thing. Watch the movie 2,000 Mules. See what you think after that. All right. All right. Besides Representative Dan Goldman, he says the Department of Justice, that is under the auspices of Joe Biden, is so much better now that Donald Trump is gone.
Oh.
Yeah, it has integrity now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The White House press secretary this week said that a pardon for Hunter Biden is off the table, but we haven't heard President Biden himself rule it out. Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him. President Biden has restored the integrity of the Department of Justice, and I think you see that in this case.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't you see
are
it?
These people?
Don't you see all that integrity of all of the alphabet agencies stonewalling this?
I've noticed that.
Investigation?
Yeah, the integrity of the FBI in particular has really astounded me. Wow.
Just fun, right?
Oh, yeah. Just fun. Yeah, that's fun. It's not aggravating. It's fun.
Yeah, there you go.
We're just having some fun this morning. We got more from him coming up. But first, here's Senator Chris Coons, who's also out there making the rounds for Joe Biden. He says there's no evidence, so just stop looking for it.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it would behoove the president for him to come out and say, hey, I had no business dealings with my son. My son's issues are my son's issues. Do you think he needs to say that more directly? Because there's a lot of people that believe something else will happen.
Well, let's be clear about that point, Chuck. There's been a 5-year investigation, 5 years, by a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney. This investigation started during the Trump administration, and they've come forward with not one shred of evidence tying President Biden to any of this.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's so fun, right? How? It's an art.
Oh, my God.
It is an art to lie as...
Wow. Yes, all the evidence has come out there and preceded your BS. Really amazing. That's amazing. They have no shame at all.
Correct.
Wow. You got to love that. You got to love that. And so, again, so unaware. How long did the Russian collusion search, research, investigation, how long did that go on? Wasn't that 5 years? That had to be a 5-year process before they finally came out and said, yeah, there's absolutely nothing to this. I mean, the lack of self-awareness is amazing. Hunter Biden's friend yesterday and business partner, Devon Archer, arrived to testify for Congress behind closed doors.
Here's
Do you have anything to say?
Big arrival.
Did you have meetings with the Bidens, and can you elaborate on those things?
Did anyone tell you not
Get
to
some
appear today, sir?
WD-40 on that door?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that why? That's the only reason for the clip, right?
Yeah. That door, I mean,
So we can show you that the door is not well maintained.
pretty important day. And it just kept going to a close.
It's great.
No, but he showed up all smiles. He was ready to...
Yeah.
And he flipped. I mean, he's not an ally of the Bidens. We can say that.
Yeah. He said he'd be surprised, he'd be shocked if they got paid millions of dollars. But everything else he pretty much confirmed. Obviously, there were many phone calls that Joe Biden participated in.
Wait, he's surprised that they got millions of dollars? Why? It's because he wasn't on that gravy train like them.
Right.
It wasn't his bank account getting the $10 million from a foreign government.
Yeah. So you got to believe he didn't even know about the payments. He didn't even know. That's how great they are as business partners, the Bidens. Hey, by the way, we're making $10 million from this deal. Shh. Don't tell Devon. Okay. That's great. So he testified in front of Congress, and Dan Goldman came out and said that they talked about the weather. That's it.
That's it. I mean, so everybody just talks about the... Don't try to make a federal case out of that.
Then he added this.
Okay.
Doesn't that contradict the president's statement saying that he never talked to any of Hunter Biden's business associates? Clearly he talked, whether it's about the weather or whatever, but he said specifically that he's never talked to them. Doesn't this contradict him?
I don't know what his comment is, and if we're going to... Well, I don't think that's what he said.
Yeah, it is what he said.
He has never spoken to anyone. He said that he had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings. If he says hello to someone that he sees his son with, well, is he supposed to say, "Hi, son"? Oh, no, I'm not going to say hello to the other people at the table or the other people on the phone.
It's tortured. Their defense is tortured. It's so sad.
Man.
It is so sad.
The point is, douchebag, that he wasn't part of any of this. That's what he said. He wasn't part of it. He didn't know anything about his business dealings. He didn't say, yeah, I participated in some phone calls. I said hi, and we talked about the weather to some of his business associates. Or I was there in the room at the time, and I said hello, and we made small talk. That's not what he said. He said he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
He didn't even know about it.
Yeah, and Archer made it clear that that Joe would attend dinners with Hunter and Hunter's associates.
Well, he's the brand.
Yeah, he's the brand. He made over 20 phone calls where he was on the phone with Hunter.
Yep.
What were some other revelations from yesterday? Burisma was going to go bankrupt if not for rescuing through the Biden criminal enterprise. And, of course, as we all know, Hunter was named, and Devon Archer confirmed it, was named to the board just because of who his dad was and the connections and all this stuff.
I mean, we knew that.
Yeah.
But it is nice to have confirmation on that. Jeez.
Yeah, well, you got to see the next clip of Goldman. Because so Goldman does that little, they talked about the weather and stuff. What's your big deal? And then he has, a little bit later on, he has this to say.
And I want to be very clear about one thing.
It's going to be clear now.
He did describe that there were approximately 20 occasions over the course of their nearly decade-long business relationship when one of them called the other, that Hunter Biden would ask his father to say hello to whomever he was at dinner. He said there were some times when it was friends and sometimes when it was potential business partners or business partners. But the witness was unequivocal and stated very clearly that they never discussed any business on that phone conversations. There were niceties and there was a hello and we talked about the weather or whatever it was, but it was never any business.
They talked about the weather.
He feels a little...
How stupid do you think we are? He talked about the weather to these people.
Yeah, and Archer also testified that Hunter placed a call to Washington, D.C. to get the Ukrainian prosecutor fired, which is something, as we know, Joe Biden bragged about.
Right. Yep. Let's just remind you. Let's go back to an interview Joe did in 2019 before he was president, where he talked about all of this.
To serve on the board of a Ukrainian energy company facing serious corruption charges, you were the vice president running point on Ukraine. The average Joe hears that and says, that sounds fishy. What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money?
I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board. I found out he was on the board after he was on the board, and that was it. And there's nobody.
You've had a lot of time. Isn't this something you want to get to the bottom of?
No, because I trust my son.
But that doesn't pass the smell test. Like when you're vice president, isn't there a higher standard? Don't you need to know what's happening with your family? Don't you need to put down some guardrails?
Unless there was something that was something on its face that was wrong. There's nothing on its face that was wrong. So look, if you want to talk about problems, let's talk about Trump's family.
Oh, for gosh sakes.
I mean, come on.
Let's talk about him. What do you have? What do you have on Trump's family?
These guys are amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing.
So you think that everything that happened was kosher?
There's not one single bit of evidence, not one little tiny bit, to suggest anything done was wrong.
It's not true.
You know that, but you keep asking me these questions. It's okay. You're doing what you have to do, but I'm not worried about it. Look, the American public knows me.
Last one.
Yeah, we know you're a douchebag and a criminal.
So you're elected, you're in office. What guardrails would you have to be sure that your son, your brother Jimmy, doesn't do anything to trade on the family name?
They will not be engaged in any foreign business because of what's happened in this administration. No one's going to be seeking patents for things from China. No one's going to be engaged in that kind of thing.
So no foreign business for your relatives in office?
No foreign business for your relatives in office. So Hunter, one of the things is that he didn't register as
foreign
agent, right? And so where's the? Thank God the judge last week didn't sign off on that, or this stuff would be like, sorry, you're immune from that now.
Yeah, too late.
But I'd like to see the case pursued on that. And then I do love the text messages that Marjorie Taylor Greene posted yesterday between Hunter and Devon Archer, where Hunter explained, quote, "It's democracy. Every president's family is held to a higher standard. It's the price of being the most powerful group of people in the world. The unfairness to us allows for the greater good." Oh, listen to Hunter Biden. Oh, shut up.
Pathetic. And they keep doing this. Look at the Trump family. What did Trump family do? Show me anything that you have on Don Jr. or Eric or Ivanka. Show it to me, because there isn't anything. What are they being accused of? If you've got evidence of, or even rumor of them doing anything wrong, let's hear it. All they do is throw that out because they know that their base hates Donald Trump and his family, and they just try to turn it around on them. Well, there's nothing. There's no foreign business dealings that Trump was involved with his family while he was president of the United States. In fact, the guy didn't even take his salary when he was president. Can this guy say the same thing? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
We can't even get the Biden family to pay taxes.
Yeah, man.
Millions now.
I mean, it's
enraging.
Really enraging. Yeah,
Sure is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And to see his smug, smiled, scoffing face.
It's tough, dude.
Oh, it's so hard.
It is so tough.
So hard. All right. I got to tell you about Eden Pure thunderstorms, because if you have odors in your home, last night I was thinking, all right, that salmon smell is going to be, nope, it's not going to be here forever, because we have an Eden Pure thunderstorm to take that away immediately. It's amazing how fast the Eden Pure thunderstorm works, too. You just plug it in, turn it on, and bang, in a matter of seconds, the odors are gone. Gets rid of strong odors from cooking and cigarette smoke and litter boxes, trash cans. Even that mildew smell from basements is no match for the Eden Pure thunderstorm. It starts working in seconds to clear any room of any odor. And there's no costly filters to replace ever. So you don't have to worry about maintenance. You just plug it in, turn it on, and you're off. There aren't any filters to replace because there's no filters in it. And with over 350,000 thunderstorms already sold with thousands of 5-star reviews online, you know it's going to work. I mean, they've been just deluged with orders because people have realized, and then word of mouth spreads. And I think they're just finally catching up now and getting these back out to people. Right now, you can save $200 on 3 thunderstorms for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200. Such a great deal. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Enter the promo code PAT. EdenPureDeals.com. That's EDEN. EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code PAT. And you get free shipping.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And welcome to it. So after all this, here's Jonathan Turley and his take on all of it.
Well, it's breathtaking that Representative Goldman would come out of this meeting, from what we've learned from Chad, and say that it was just a dad being a dad. It's really unbelievable. You have now an account of these meetings talking about getting rid of Victor Shokin, the prosecutor, and calls being made to the vice president at that time, Joe Biden. You have an account of over 20 such calls. And you have someone who says, yes, the president was part of moving the brand. Well, what was the brand? I mean, this was an influence peddling brand.
The brand is Joe.
And the object of that influence peddling was Joe Biden. He was an essential part of that. And he played that role. So if this is true, and I have no doubt with the reporting of Chad, then the president has lied. He lied during the presidential debate. He's lied for years, and he's had staff at the White House lie.
Sure.
That's always a serious matter. And the next question is, why did he lie?
It's a good question.
Because he likes making money.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
And he hates this country. Doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. Representative Anna Paulina Luna yesterday was like, I've seen enough.
Anna Paulina Luna.
Yeah, she said it's time to start impeachment hearings. And she's right. I mean, she made the case that the FBI, the DOJ, the IRS, all of these government agencies have been hyper-focused at protecting the Bidens, protecting this president. That's not how this nation's supposed to work.
It's not.
And this is an abuse of power. And I swear, these Republicans better file impeachment. We better get this ball rolling
right now.
Yeah, by the end of the week.
Right now.
I want this thing started.
I mean, there's obviously a parallel justice system, one that runs separate from the rest of us, one that doesn't bring anybody to justice if they're elites, like the Bidens. I mean, it's despicable, and it can't continue.
And just remember, Hunter told us there's going to be more scrutiny for a politician's family, and they have to be held to a higher standard for the greater good.
Yeah, right.
Yep. There. I mean, look at that.
That's rich coming from that
Look
guy.
at that. See, he even played golf with Joe, Devon Archer.
I mean, my God.
I mean, you're only talking golf on the course. Like when you go play golf.
Well, and the weather.
Yeah, the weather. You're like, wow, it's
hey, I
sunny.
noticed it's sunny today.
Yeah.
Did you guys see your shadows behind you?
Yeah, and then
it's warm.
You say something like, "Yeah, it's sunny today. Where's my 3-wood?" And that's literally all you say.
That's all.
You don't talk about anything.
Yeah, that $10 million deal you got with China, you don't talk about that. Getting the prosecutor in Ukraine fired, you don't talk about that. That's not something that comes up in the natural course of conversation. And when you get on the phone over 20 times, I mean, the only thing you're going to discuss with Hunter's business partners is the weather. You just want to say hi. Hey, hi.
If that's literally all you talked about,
yeah,
you must be the most shallow human being on the planet.
My gosh.
Boy, sure is another hot one, huh, guys? Anyway,
I just wanted to pop on and mention it's raining here in D.C. Really? That's what you're on for, Joe?
Yeah. Just thought you guys...
Yeah. It's raining right now.
I thought Hunter and his friends, I thought you guys were needing a weather report from back east.
By the way, what's it doing there where you are in China? How are things in Beijing? How are things in Kyiv? How are they today? Is it because, like I said, it's raining here, but I guess the forecast is for it to stop around 5 this afternoon. So
same thing on the golf course. Just all weather all the time.
I mean, how stupid?
Now
do you
watch
think
this
we
shot.
Are? Seriously, how stupid are we? If this works, I mean, I guess we deserve what we get.
Is he going to be the nominee, Joe Biden?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, he's too egomaniacal to step down.
I'm telling you though, if it is Trump and Biden, there will be, I don't know who, I'm not making any predictions of who, but there will be a very, very strong third-party candidate, I imagine. And I'm not telegraphing anything. I just feel someone...
Well, Manchin's talked about it.
Oh, okay, never mind. I take it back. The hell, I'm never voting for him for dog catcher.
Man. Yeah, nobody in the Democrat Party will challenge. Well, except maybe RFK Jr. RFK Jr. might.
Yeah.
He didn't discount it when people asked him about it.
Really? He's been asked the third-party question?
Yeah, he has.
Interesting.
And he did. He's like, I'm going to win the Democrat nomination. It's that line of answering the question. But I think that he would entertain it. I think he would.
Did you see where DeSantis suggested he would make RFK, he would ask him to serve as the head of the CDC or the FDA?
Right.
And did you see that Vivek says that either Ted Cruz or Mike Lee would make good Supreme Court justices?
And he's right about that. They would. I'm not sure I want to lose them in the U.S. Senate, but they'd make great Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, we don't quite trust Utah and Texas to do the right thing to fill those seats like we used to.
Not when we elect John Cornyn time after time after time, and not when Utah elects Mitt Romney. All right. Well, the other day, KJP said, look, this is all crazy because Hunter Biden is just a private citizen. Leave him alone. He's a private citizen.
The president's kid.
So, we should back off because look at this private citizen arriving to court. Just like a regular guy. Just a regular private citizen. Here comes his motorcade.
Wait a minute.
The private citizen motorcade that we all get to enjoy.
Wait a minute. No. No. When I go to court... I mean, it's not that often.
You got, what, 7, 8 cars? How many do you have? He's only got 6.
I have to find a parking meter, or I have to go into the garage and get the little ticket and hope it gets validated later.
How many Secret Service agents are with you at the time?
A good 0.
Oh, wow. Did you carry the one?
I'm not good at math. You know this.
I know.
But yeah, you're right, man.
That can't be right.
That's just a day in the life of a private citizen.
Look at this.
That's.
I love it. You're just a private citizen. Is he? Okay.
That's John Q. Public getting out of that SUV.
Yep. This is just a regular guy, man. He's treated like everybody else. So leave him alone. And there he goes with his lawyers, with the Secret Service, and just a private citizen.
Yeah.
It's your average guy.
In hindsight of watching that clip, little did Hunter know he was entering a courtroom where things were not going to go his way.
Right.
Ha!
Yep. And I hope it continues down that path, and I hope they really do something about it, and I hope they don't give him a plea deal that is the sweetheart thing we already heard about, because he deserves jail time.
So I saw that Joe is just started a 14-day vacation.
Right.
And I don't know what all he's going to do. I know 7 days are going to be there at the beach looking handsome as ever. Obviously.
Oh, I think we have some photos of that online. You want to check it out. Very sexy.
At Pat Unleashed on
a sexy
Twitter.
Man. Yeah, you can check out Joe topless.
Yeah.
Really hot.
So
hot like fire.
So, I mean, if you didn't see enough of it yesterday on the show, then you got to go to Pat's Twitter page and you'll see plenty more. But my point is, he goes on vacation. Day one of this vacation is the testimony of Devon Archer. I mean, perfect time. Coincidence, obviously, the timing.
Obviously.
But I think the White House thinks this thing's going to blow over by the time he comes back.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not so sure.
I don't know. We'll see.
This time it's different? Maybe?
Maybe. I hope. Keeping my fingers crossed. We'll see.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
A few tweets here. The right meme tweets, are we really surprised the score of the women's soccer team is full of zeros? No. No, we're not. Dirty Mule, is TBD the Getty Images of sports?
Yes.
No, they're playing that tough nation of TBD, which you don't want to go up against them. You really don't.
Like where is TBD on a globe?
Well, that's to be decided. Yes, sir. Silent Commander tweets, Schiff must have been hanging with Feinstein and it rubbed off. Jeffy for president, I'd be willing to bet my last dollar Biden will pardon Hunter if they can't get him out of this by any other means. I would think so, too. Goldman was saying, oh, they're absolutely not. He won't pardon him. But we'll see. Oliver Klusoff.
Yeah, it just hit me.
Not only do the Democrat politicians lie, the media goes along with them and gives them a platform to keep those lies alive. And from Linda Rose, what's fascinating about the clip you played of Biden from 2019 is how much he's declined since then. Mm-hmm. Quite noticeable. Indeed. Yeah, it is. It is. He seemed much sharper 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was starting, I mean, it was on the way even then.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's always been a butt stupid, but
yeah, fair.
Yeah, there's a little more going on now, and I think we all know it. Even the Democrats are starting to realize, okay, maybe this should be it.
Yeah, and are we going to play these podcast clips here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so check this out. I know for a fact that this was recorded on Wednesday, July 26th. I know this because on Wednesday, July 26th, I made the mistake for the first time in a long time of watching the KJP White House press conference. And she mentioned, because people were saying there's nothing on his schedule, blah, blah, blah. And I remember the idiot in the press room saying, I'm so glad you asked that because he's doing a podcast today. He's sitting down with blah, 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 blah. And so just remember that because it will become important later on. This podcast was recorded on Wednesday. And he sucks so bad.
I mean, the guy held his feet to the fire and just asked him some tough, hard-hitting questions. And like this one, where he gave him a chance to tell this really interesting story about him and trains.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know all the conductors so well that I became friends. And one day, as vice president, I was going home in the train, which the Secret Service doesn't like because there's so many opportunities to interrupt the train. And this particular, I'm not going to embarrass him and say his name, come to me, grab him and she goes, Joey, baby.
That's
I thought they're going to shoot him. Anyway, I said, no, he's right. He said, I just read in the paper, you traveled 1,000,000.
Pause it for a sec. Okay. He's telling the story.
Yeah.
Like it's the first time ever.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
How are you not embarrassed by that? How do you not at least preface this thing? I've told this story in the past, but here's a new twist on it. Blah, blah, blah. But no.
He can't.
It's the same BS every time, and he acts like he's never told it before.
We have people in all of our families who do this. They tell the same war stories.
Right.
Or they tell the same stories over and over again. Nobody, I contend nobody's relative listening to their show right now has come close to the repetition of a
guy?
Joe Biden.
No way.
And by the way, even the Associated Press has fact-checked this train tale and blown it up.
In advance, we can say it's a complete lie.
Complete lie.
Ange, the conductor, retired in 1993. 1993. He died in either 14 or 16, 2014, I think it was. So he was long gone by this time. I think he died in 2014, and they determined that Biden didn't hit the 1,000,000-mile train mark until 2016.
I think even later than that.
Yeah, it might have been even later. Yeah. So this is all completely bogus, all made up. This didn't happen, and yet He kept going.
You traveled 1,100,000 miles on Air Force planes. You got to list how many miles you travel on. And he said, big deal. He said, Joey, we had a retirement dinner. He said, you know what? You figured out. You know how many miles you travel on Amtrak? I said, no. He said, 1,200,000 miles, 119 days a year, 300 days, 300 miles round trip, 36 years plus 5. I'm going, oh God. My point was I was on a train a lot.
And then, boy, that zinger at the end made it all worth it.
Okay, you rode the train a lot. Why don't you just say that from now on and shut up about the rest of it, which is a lie and not even interesting. It's not even an interesting story. I don't care if you traveled 8 million, 80 million, 100 million miles on a train. Who cares? Who cares? I think his point is he's so blue collar. He's so down to earth. He's so middle America that he travels the train. Do you know how much it costs to ride the Amtrak every day? I mean, most human beings could not afford that. You couldn't ride Amtrak.
I bet the American taxpayer can afford it.
Yes, I'm sure they did. Yeah. I'm sure we did. We can't afford it because he bankrupted us, but they kept doing it anyway.
Yeah, and the AP fact check that I saw on this also covered. You heard him slip in the miles on the plane.
Yeah.
That was a lie, according to AP.
What, was Xi Jinping? That one?
No. He had just slipped in how many miles. I don't know. This AP fact check covered every aspect. Travel associated
Which is
lie
weird.
by Joe Biden. Yeah.
Why are they doing
from
that?
a couple years ago, actually. I found. Yeah. But, I mean, it covered, like, when he talks about his mom, when his mom died. I don't know. Somebody had an interesting day of journalism at the AP.
And was it all lie?
Yeah.
It was all
everything that he ever tells associated with transportation, according to the AP, was a lie.
My gosh.
It just never ends with this guy.
Good golly. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. So we have a news story, though.
I have never heard this one.
Okay. About cufflinks?
Yeah.
Check this out. See if you've
I
heard
went
it
to a Catholic grade school. We didn't often get invited to the cotillion, which was in the local school down the street, Mount Pleasant School. And so I got invited, and I was going to go. I was all excited about going. I think it was 9th grade, maybe it was 8th grade. Like a little dance. And there was a guy who was a good athlete. I was a relatively good athlete. He was a good athlete from the school, the other school. Big guy.
Pause it. I would be, if we were doing the game, what, tired story is he about to tell? I would go the football direction at this point, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd go, okay,
sure would.
he's going to tell us that he was a terrific wide receiver and he was going to go to Navy, but then Roger Staubach went to Navy, which I don't know how that would preclude him from going, but he wound up at Delaware and then didn't play football, actually. So I don't know. Anyway, that's not where it goes.
Became friends, but so I'm getting dressed and I didn't have a shirt to wear. So my mother got my uncle's shirt, who was a smaller man than my dad, and French cuffs and rolled up the cuffs so that who looked like it fit. And I couldn't find my dad's. We couldn't find my dad's cufflinks. So my mom went and got a nut and a bolt. I wonder why she was downstairs in the laundry room looking for it.
That's how poor they were.
I said, Mom, I can't do this.
Right.
They'll make fun of me. I'll be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Said, anybody comes up and says anything, you look at them and say, and here's what she told me to say. This guy, Frank, came up to me and said, hey, look at Biden. Look what he's got here. Hey. And I looked at him and said, you don't have a pair of these?
What a funny story. Just so down to earth and so charming.
Mr.
Golly.
Folksy there. You don't have a pair of these? The man.
Agonizing. It's agonizing.
Yeah.
How did Joe's family members pass messages along to him? Check this out.
Oh.
My family, when they want to get an important message to me, they tape it on the mirror of the bathroom. I'm serious, not a joke.
So you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, no, it's on
I'm
the mirror.
joking.
I guess I was down early on. It's not going to be 10 years ago. I was down or something.
Yeah.
And my daughter Ashley taped on she's a social worker, taped on my mirror. Happiness is something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to.
No more showers.
Dad, you have all those things.
Well, he's really into this podcast, the host there. Did the Post-it note from Ashley say, no more showers? Is that not what it said?
At least.
With me, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I would love to know what some of those notes say that they leave on the bathroom mirror for Joe. Like, don't forget to wipe. I mean, because seriously, like, what?
That's great.
What do you think that they? What do you think the notes say, Pat? What would you guess?
I'm gonna leave it at don't forget to wipe.
Don't forget to wipe.
That's where I'm
Did you
leaving
wipe?
it.
And then it's got to have a smiley face with it. Okay. By the way,
with toilet paper, please.
With toilet paper this
don't
time.
Use your hand again.
Takes days to get that stench out of your hand. Okay, so hold on. I was looking up the AP fact check thing here.
Yeah.
On Ange. So he referenced the thing where it goes, oh, so you flew 1.2 million miles on Air Force Two. Big deal. You've done this on the Amtrak train. Yeah. When Joe actually would have crossed that threshold, it was long after Ange had passed away.
Right.
Thank you, Associated Press, for actually cross-checking something this old man says.
I mean, it's amazing.
It truly is.
You've got the Washington Post, who's been doing that quite a bit lately. You got AP fact-checking him.
Pave the way for Gavin.
Yeah, probably. And I think they're starting to realize this guy's not capable of doing what he's supposed to be doing here. He just isn't competent. He's diminished cognitively, and there's no getting around it anymore. And maybe they're embarrassed like we are, especially when this guy's with world leaders. Jeez, the thing he did with the Italian prime minister the other day was, that was agonizing. It was so awkward and embarrassing. Yeah. So anyway, he also, I guess, talks about his message to his grandkids here.
This is where, if you recall early on, I said, remember, this was recorded on Wednesday, July 26th.
Okay.
And I will tell you my theory after we watch this clip here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's look, I just think being there is important, and it makes such a difference, I think, knowing that someone's going to be there for you. Just to listen, just to hold you, just to hug you.
Okay. Interesting.
Did he say in that clip? Oh, there is a clip where he says he has 7 grandkids. Was it not that one? He didn't say it in that one? Oh, crap. Okay. So he says in the interview, I have 7 grandkids.
He's been forced into that.
Okay.
He's been forced into
it. Go with me here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he knows he has 7 grandkids, never means to publicly admit it, but he did slip that number out during this interview on Wednesday.
Oh.
So then that's when the White House said, oh, crap.
Oh, yeah, we better acknowledge. Crap. You're going to have to put out a statement.
And that's when they did at 5 o'clock on Friday night with the Friday weekend news drop.
Yes.
All because he slipped up. Shoot, I meant to send in the video clip of him saying, I've got 7 grandkids, and, you got to love them and touch them and sniff them and whatnot. But anyway, I think that I don't think they ever intended of admitting publicly he has a 7th grandkid. He just misspoke because he's worse than me with numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what forced their hand with the Friday press release because they had this in the can.
The next thing we should force him to do is to have her fly out to Washington, D.C. and actually meet her face to face. How about that? How about flying her and her mom out to D.C., or you go to Arkansas and you actually see this grandchild who's, your grandchildren are so important to you. You never miss a phone call from them. I mean, it's, he's such a family man. Really?
She's got 6 cousins who would love to meet her. They could play hide and go seek in the White House.
Adorable too.
Right, just go.
Adorable. All right. Let me tell you about Magic Spoon, because growing up, cereal was one of the best parts of being a kid, right? Because you can eat whatever you want, really, when you're a kid, if your parents will let you. And it doesn't have that effect that it has later in life. Now we have to watch out for sugar and empty carbs. Well, Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but high protein and less sugar. So your cereal has now grown up with you. you grew up, so was your cereal, with Magic Spoon. The best thing about Magic Spoon is the variety pack. They've got 4 flavors, which are cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. Delicious.
Oh, boy.
This pack has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 to 5 net grams of carbs, and just 140 calories per serving. It's high protein, has 0 sugar, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free. You know, I have diabetes, and I can eat this. It's just great. In fact, Chris Cruz brought us in.
That.
Yeah, some Magic Spoon cereal. He's got the fruity.
The fruity kind.
Delicious. You know, so like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say the names of the, but I mean, you can figure that out. But I like it better than the fruity version full of sugar.
Are they loops, would you say?
I'd say yes. Yes, I would say that.
I like
and
cereal.
They're fruity.
I like cereal that is loopy and fruity.
You're right. I do too. Go to magicspoon.com/unleashed. Get a variety pack. Try it today. And be sure to use our promo code UNLEASHED at checkout, and you'll save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Pretty great. Remember, get your delicious bowl of high-protein cereal at magicspoon.com/unleashed. Use the promo code UNLEASHED and save $5 off.
Yeah, so
this is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Chris Cruz saved me here. He got that clip of Joe Biden talking about his grandkids. Watch this.
Oh, good. All right.
I have 7 grandkids.
There it is.
There it is.
4 of them, 5 of them old enough to talk on the phone. You know, every day I either text them or call them.
Do you?
But it's look, I just think being there.
There we go. So then he gets into the whole
is important.
Being there.
Okay.
Makes such a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that part.
So I think he slipped on the 7, and
no, I think you're right.
There comes the press release 2 days later because I know this is coming out this week.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. So the guy obviously didn't do it that day, right? He didn't play his podcast that day. He just taped it.
I think
for
it dropped
later.
yesterday.
Okay.
So they recorded it Wednesday, dropped it yesterday, and in the meantime, everyone in the White House is freaking out, going, "Dude, he said 7. Yeah, he doesn't mean to say 7, but he said 7. What do we do?"
And this is after they've all been told, don't mention the 7th.
Yeah.
Don't mention her because it's 6 grandkids. We're going to stick with that. And then they had to change it.
And so the faction inside the White House that has said, hey, it's not polling very well, we really should admit the 7th, they finally won when Old Man screwed up on the podcast.
Awesome. That's exactly what happened. You know it is. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got this from Bad Engineer. Does Archer's testimony even matter? Republicans in Congress don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up and do something. And Dems are all like, move along, nothing to see here. I hope something comes of this. Do I have a lot of confidence it will? No. No. Based on experience? No. Falling lightning bolts? Tweets, Joe, we never think you're joking. We think you're lying. Thank you. Yes, exactly right. From Head Pat Head, the notes on the mirror probably remind him of his name and where he is. And maybe a daily weather report since he's such a fan of the weather.
He's got to have something to talk about with those Ukrainian businessmen later.
From Bob Loblaw, who knew Biden-Harris audio clips would become as agonizing as anything uttered by the Obamas or the Clintons, if not more so. I think even more so.
Definitely. Yeah.
Harry Powell, please quit playing Biden. I'm losing IQ points. Yeah, that's what happens. By the way, just a quick note. Pee-wee Herman died yesterday,
Very
70
sad.
years old. Really sad.
Very sad.
From Pee-wee's Playhouse, from, I don't know, quite a few movies that I don't think I ever saw a single Pee-wee Herman movie. I didn't want to lose IQ points, but
what?
That's just really sad.
Oh.
You know, it's sad.
Yeah, and it's sad that he posted that Hey, I'm sorry that I didn't.
Sorry I didn't tell you.
Yeah, 6 years.
Apparently you had cancer for a while. So, yeah, we lost him.
I might actually have to send in something I posted yesterday that it's the greatest entrance into an interview ever. And, Chris, I'm going to send this to you because I think you might actually enjoy this. Yeah, I mean, he was a part of Gen X, man, growing up. Kids, I mean, we love that Saturday morning show.
Yeah.
With the chair.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Cherry.
Is that what it was?
And
I
the
think so.
mailman and
right.
all the gang. You totally loved it, right?
Oh.
And that genie. Oh, Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho. Right? You were all over that. Seriously, it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Because he was a big part of Gen X.
Yep. Also, this is interesting. Texas man in his 20s has contracted leprosy.
Whoa.
Okay, good.
Whoa.
It's kind of a mystery. They don't know where it came from, how he got it. They don't know any of that.
I have a theory.
But do you?
Yeah.
Huh? What is it?
He's in Texas, huh?
Yes, he's in Texas.
Okay, he's in Texas.
Yeah.
And we have a border to the south.
Yeah, we do.
And it's wide open. So I'm guessing if you do some trace contacting, you might trace it back to a third world nation.
Yeah, you might. You might. But this Texas man was quickly sent to a leper colony in Judea, and he'll be visited by Judah Ben-Hur. So I think he'll be fine. You know, I'm just gonna keep him isolated for a while. Don't worry about it.
Oh, so I did a Google search just to find out more information on this. It's like all over the southeast now. Apparently, it's
leprosy. Is?
Yes. All right.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
That's all we need. It's just leprosy to make a comeback.
Oh gosh.
Fortunately, I think it usually responds well to antibiotics. Antibiotics can knock it out. You know the other place it can come from, and this is really weird.
Okay.
Armadillos.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
we have in abundance. Those ugly, nasty things crawling across the road from time to time, and you're like, what is that armored thing with legs?
I know.
So apparently they carry leprosy.
You don't want to be making out with them.
No, you don't. Please don't.
Don't do that.
Please don't make
Jeffy.
out with any armadillos.
Now, was leprosy in that warehouse that they just opened up there in California, right? Because
it might, maybe because they had all kinds of crud coming out of that.
This is terrifying.
So it's an illegal lab run by Chinese biotech firms.
What was that?
It's run by a Chinese biotech firm. Right?
In
You have a
America.
problem with that? You don't have a problem with that.
Oh, I have big problems with that.
Contained mice that were engineered to spread COVID.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
Time.
That's good. Prestige Biotech, a Chinese medical company, operated an illegal lab in California where they bioengineered and infected almost 1,000 mice with diseases. Jeez. Including HIV, E. coli, malaria, and COVID-19. Wow.
Sounds totally fine, right?
The undercover lab was discovered in a warehouse in Reedley, California, when a garden hose was found to be illegally attached to the building. What a weird thing.
Amazing, right?
Hey, that garden hose isn't supposed to be there, attached to that building.
I mean, that's California for you. I mean, if something doesn't have a permit, you don't have a permit to stand there, sir. I mean, they'll come for you.
There was a special room that was built housing about 1,000 white lab mice, according to a city manager. This is an unusual situation. I've been in government for 25 years. I've never seen anything like this. So according to this official, at least 200 mice were found dead. The remainder were euthanized by the county. You hate to see the mice go like that, don't you? We lost them.
So,
we lost about 1,000 of them.
How much you want to bet? This is Chinese-owned warehouse in America with all sorts of diseases in there.
What could go wrong, though?
They are just sitting back waiting for the go sign from back home.
Wouldn't be surprised.
And I guarantee you there are probably dozens of such facilities across our nation right now just like that.
Yep.
Say the word and we will release the what was it again? What were all the diseases in there?
It
was
E. coli,
HIV,
malaria,
COVID-19,
of course. So, yeah.
But not leprosy, huh?
No, apparently not.
All right.
At least they didn't mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me if that's included.
Well, that's bad stuff.
Oh, man. An author named James Lindsay recently gave a speech over in Europe where he described Western Marxism and how it operates as it seeks to destroy a nation or a culture. Long speech, but here's an excerpt we think you should be aware of. Check this out.
In 1993, Cheryl Harris wrote a long article for the Harvard Law Review called Whiteness is Property. She explained that whiteness, or white privilege, constitutes a kind of cultural private property. She says it must be abolished in order to have racial justice. Just like Karl Marx said that in the Communist Manifesto, he wrote, communism can be summarized in a single sentence, the abolition of private property. Well, this is why critical race theory calls to abolish whiteness, because whiteness is a form of private property. People who have access to this property are whites or white adjacent, or they act white. These are words out of the American lexicon that they've used to describe how people gain access to the private property. People without that are people of color, and they are oppressed by systemic racism. Systemic racism is enforced by an ideology of white supremacy instead of capitalism. If you think of whiteness as a form of cultural capital, white supremacy, as they define it, is identical to capitalism. It's the belief, it's not believing that white people are superior. It's believing that white people have access to the control of society and should maintain that, even if you don't actually believe that. If you merely support that, you have adopted the ideology of white supremacy into your mind. And so you have the exact same system. And the goal is to awaken a racial consciousness in people so that they will band together as a class and seize the means of cultural production so that white cultural production is no longer the dominant mode. It's a big mystery in Europe, I know. In the UK, throughout Europe, I hear this question again and again. Why on earth is this very American phenomenon about slavery and so on that doesn't apply to our country? Why is it popular here? It's because it's not about history at all. It's not about slavery at all. Those are excuses that they use. It's about creating a class consciousness that's against this form of property called whiteness, that's against the dominant culture that may just be a matter of fact, say, if you're in Europe. That's why. Because it becomes a site by which people can come together and they can channel resentment and try to claim power. I wrote a book called Race Marxism, and I defined critical race theory as it really is in that book on the first page. I said that critical race theory is calling everything you want to control racist until you control it. But couldn't we say the same about Marxism? It's calling everything you want to control bourgeois until you control it. But those mean the same thing. They mean exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a 30-minute speech. I tweeted it
watching,
out.
though.
Yeah, it's very insightful, and it's a message that you need to play for your kids. Because when they can understand how the left plays the game in this country, they can spot their insidious stuff from a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
So your kids will enjoy watching this. Mine did. And
with that in mind, I love that you put them through this stuff every single time. It's so great.
Torture. Yeah, you think you're playing Minecraft. You're actually watching this James Lindsay speech. Have a seat.
With all that in mind, here's Senator Elizabeth Warren over the weekend talking about student loan debt relief.
And so we've been together fighting to try to cancel student loan debt. Student loan debt is a racial justice issue.
There it is.
Jeez. I mean, that's insulting. That's just insulting.
You just call something racist.
Yep.
Until you own it.
Right. How is that racist when you made the choice? It's like, did you choose to be a certain color? I didn't, that I know of. So you choose to get into debt with your student loan. You make an agreement with somebody. They don't hold a gun to your head and say, do you take this $100,000 loan or I'm going to shoot you in the head. That's not what happens here. There's just no personal responsibility at all.
No.
You've got no responsibility. If you got yourself into unbelievable debt and, you saddle yourself with that debt for the rest of your life, that's not your fault. That's not your fault. I guess that's society's fault.
That's the man's fault.
Plus, nobody ever blames the colleges, too, that are so expensive to attend. Talk to Harvard about it. We've mentioned this in the past. They've got an endowment large enough to offer free tuition to every single person for the next 50 years. It was 25, then their endowment doubled. Now you could send 25,000 students to Harvard every year for free for 50 years. Are they going to do that? Nah, I don't think so.
And don't forget, the reason it's just like a cancer that feeds on itself. The reason schools are so expensive is because they know that all this money is coming from the government to these students that are enrolling there so they can jack up the price.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever government gets involved in anything, it's more expensive and less efficient.
Man. And then speaking of education, the left continues to lie about the Florida school curriculum. They're calling it racist, of course, toward blacks when it isn't racist in the slightest.
No.
Not at all is it racist. In fact, there were several blacks on the committee that prepared this thing.
Yeah.
They were involved in the creation of this curriculum. But try not to scream when you see this. And
there are so-called leaders, extremists, who are attempting to require in our nation an unnecessary debate with the intention, I believe, to try and divide us as Americans.
Are you serious?
Stop.
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 Pause it. Stop yourself from your lies about this curriculum. Stop. Stop lying about don't say gay. Stop lying about don't say slavery. That's not what's going on here. And they know it. They know it. They just think they've gotten a hold of something that's going to be a great battering ram during the campaign, and they're going to continue to hammer away at it as long as it takes. They're such great liars. Let's see the rest of this.
Stop.
Stop. Okay. We missed one stop. Is all. All right. I'm glad we got that final stop, though. That's
good. Yeah, Lance, we might need that. Stop. As a drop at some point. Just too muck and fudge. You can put that on a future card. Stop. Honestly, when you watch, you know how we sit around here, we play these clips, and we're like, I don't understand. Nothing makes sense. You know Stop trying to make sense of the world. You watch that James Lindsay speech, and it all makes sense. Every one of these clips makes sense when you watch it through that with that perspective.
No doubt about it. You know, our world can change at the blink of an eye. We're on the brink of economic collapse. We all know that. It's scary. But if you don't think you need emergency food right now, wait a day and see what happens. Just don't wait too long. Actually, I wouldn't even wait a day. Because as I speak, preparewithpat.com is offering a huge discount on their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. This is so great because I think this is really the minimum you should do. And that's get 3 months worth of food for you and your family. For each member of your family you're taking care of during the worst of any kind of catastrophe that happens. This is imperative. And then after 3 months... Okay, hopefully things are returning to normal and you got a supply chain restoration and all of those things, but this gets you through the worst of times. For a limited time, you'll save 25% per kit. That's the biggest discount they offer, and it doesn't come along every day. It won't last long, so do yourself a favor and get your 25% discount on each 3-month emergency food kit you need. That includes delicious breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and more, providing over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one kit per person in your family. Get your 25% discount today before this offer expires. You can get fast and free shipping, too. Go to preparewithpat.com, or you might just regret it. Preparewithpat.com.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets from X, or X's from X. Jeffy's Coke baggie tweets X's. Tweet X's. Between Biden and Harris's cognitive abilities, it feels like the White House is a backfired MK Ultra program.
Ooh, I like the MK Ultra drop there. Yeah.
Higgledy-piggledy Sasquatch tweets, the one good thing about Dementia Joe has done was say 7 grandchildren. Enough dementia to slip up and tell the truth. Yeah. Snafoodle tweets, someone needs to ask Joe, if you're proud of your 7 grandchildren, how come Hunter was just in court reducing his child support payments regarding Navy? Love to see him Biden that one away. Yeah, be interesting. They also precluded her legally from ever being referred to as a Biden. That's for her privacy.
Oh.
Is it? Yeah, because nothing worse than being associated with the first family of the United States of America, huh? Yeah, that would really be a hindrance. Jeez, so pathetic. Sons of Thunder 43. I am 43, and Saturday morning as a child was Pee-wee's Playhouse, and that cereal with the loopy fruit.
Loopy fruits.
I think Pat needs to do a word of the day.
Oh! Mm-hmm. And then we scream whenever we say it. I like it.
Yeah.
Word of the day is Biden.
Ugh. I can't do it. Lord James of Georgia, leprosy. That's a biblical plague, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And T. Sheehan. That Chinese lab had many test subjects laying around homeless on the LA streets. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Would you be surprised?
Oh, no, I
That's
wouldn't.
the case.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Don Geronimo in the radio business? You know who he is? Big time. Legendary.
I don't know.
Long time. He did a show with Mike O'Meara called Don and Mike.
Okay.
And they started, weirdly enough, I just mentioned WAVA the other day. Remember that when we were talking about legends that are changing? I think it started with the Twitter discussion. Why are you changing that?
Yeah.
It's legendary. I mean, it's part of our culture. It's ingrained in us now. And now you're changing it like so many radio stations have done. And one of them was the great WAVA in Washington, where they had that really cool top hour thing. Serving 4 states, 31 counties, the White House, and your house. This is WAVA, Washington. Anyway, that's where Don and Mike really started. He just got fired from his job in radio. He worked for WBIG FM Big 100 in D.C. And here's what he said. So weird. It's an iHeartRadio station, and so I guess they said we don't tolerate this kind of sexism. See if you think this is absolutely terrible. There was an attractive reporter that walked into the studio, and Don Geronimo said he obviously saw her down in the hallway or whatever, and he said on the air, "Hey, look, Barbie's here. Hi, Barbie girl." I'm guessing she's the cheerleader. The end. That's it. Okay. What? You fired a legendary broadcaster for that?
What? My gut tells me they wanted him gone before that, and they were waiting for the first reason. But in this sensitive society, who knows?
I know. That's true.
Wow.
Jeez. I mean, I guess they discussed her a little bit afterwards. She went somewhere, did an interview on one of the other stations. You know, in all these buildings now, there's 84 radio stations. Because in the beginning, you could only own a certain amount, and then the FCC trashed all of those rules. Anyway, so now everybody's together in the same building. So she was walking by again, and Geronimo said to his producer, "Oh, hey, there's that chick that you said was tight." Is that terrible? Maybe that's what did it. I don't know. Yeah, I screamed tight when she was, and then he gets interrupted by Geronimo saying, I think she's a sportscaster at Channel 9 or Channel 7. Producer says, yeah, she's familiar. I thought she was a cheerleader, Geronimo added. So that's it. That's the whole discussion in context, and they fired him for that. This world is just... We're teetering on the precipice of absolute disaster. absolute freaking disaster. And it just, I hate it.
Every day.
You've got to watch everything you say. Things that, aren't even offensive. People are offended by. And in fact, so much so that you can't work anymore. He'll be drummed out of the business. Of course, he's old. Maybe he can just retire now. I don't know. But man, look out, people, because here we are. Who was it? It was Joan Collins that was talking about what, I think you remember her from Dynasty and some other things. I think she did some movies early on in her career. But she's 90 now.
Oh, wow.
And she was lamenting the fact that men can't even be men anymore. She misses men. Because you have to be so careful about everything you do. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
She knew a lot of men.
I don't know. Apparently she did. Apparently. So we were talking about Pee-wee Herman, who we lost the other day. Yeah. He died of cancer. But you remembered this entrance he made
Pee-wee Herman!
On Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, this is a great entrance right here. This is about 11 years ago, apparently. Conan had a show on TBS. Because you remember that scene. That's legendary there. Oh, look at that, huh?
Look at him water skiing with no hands. That's
So he's eventually going to make it to the stage. Oh no! Oh no! Look out, Andy! Look out, man! Oh wow! I love this stuff. I just love it. There we go. See, look at that.
That's awesome.
Isn't that so well done?
Very.
He should be wet, but other than that,
other than that, maybe it's one of those quick dry suits.
Oh, that's what it is.
Possible. Oh, people loved him too. Listen to that reception.
Absolutely.
Wow. Huh. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's a world upside down. We all know that. But the extent to which everything is flipped upside down it's astounding sometimes. You can't even talk science anymore. People are offended by it. You can't talk gender. You can't talk pronouns. You can't call people the right thing. Anybody who wants to pretend they're something else or identify as something else, you got to go along with it. Otherwise, you're going to be canceled. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's, doesn't he claim to be a scientist of some kind?
I think he's in the same category. I may be wrong, though, as Bill Nye.
Is he?
I don't know. Is that wrong, or is he an actual scientist?
He thinks he's brilliant.
He does that. Yes, so they are the same mindset in that regard.
Anyway, he was on a podcast recently where he shared some thoughts on gender.
My point is, apparently, the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient. Because when we wake up in the morning, we exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice.
What?
Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
And so now, so now just to tie a bow on this, I say to you.
Say to me.
Somewhere I read, I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosomes, today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I might feel 80% male.
Pause it. Nobody's denying you that freedom. Go ahead.
No one has ever suggested you don't do that.
Yeah, I never said, hey, people should never feel a certain way or identify a certain way. I'm talking about my reaction to that.
Yep.
I'm talking about how I feel about it. You can pretend to be whatever you want. I don't care.
And we're talking about,
I don't have to play your game.
Right. I don't have to play your game. I don't have to do your little pronoun dance.
Right.
And I don't want you doing anything with the kids. Stop grooming.
Exactly.
Go do what you want to do. No one's stopping you.
Let's hear the rest of this madness.
I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you care?
I don't.
Why?
Except that you're forcing me.
Is it of yours to require that I fulfill your inability to think of gender on a spectrum?
What are you?
Wow.
Who cares, bro?
How desperate are they to twist reality into a fantasy? We're supposed to live in their fantasy world. Sorry, that's what I'm not going to do. I don't care. You go ahead and twist that all you want and make your identity that you're a gerbil. I don't care. I just don't have to say, yep, you're a gerbil. I don't have to do that.
So is it fair to say you will not abide it?
I will not abide it. It is fair to say that.
Cool.
It is fair to say I will not abide your pretend world, your fantasy land. Okay? I mean, you can do it all you want. I'm not going to do it. Man. And there's this. Libs of TikTok tweeted, received this from a follower in Washington. This pediatric clinic revokes parents' access to their kids' medical records when the kid turns 13.
Are you for real?
And says kids can make their own medical decisions. It's Wood Creek Pediatrics.
Wow.
Jeez.
Getting my kid out of there ASAP.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
Do we have the sign on the door? Can we put that up, please? The sign
put the sign
that is being referenced here by Libs of TikTok.
Read that. I don't have my glasses with me.
Oh, okay. Looking for it.
Do we have it?
I don't know.
Maybe we don't have the
Maybe we
image.
don't have it. You want me to read it?
Yeah. Here.
I represent science.
Oh, do you now? Okay, so let's see here. Wood Creek Pediatrics sign on the door says we're now using MultiCare's MyChart patient portal. You can use MyChart to communicate with your Wood Creek providers, request prescription refills, pay your bill, and more. Parental access to minor patient information via MyChart. Well, under Washington state law, minors have the right to consent to certain health care services without a parent or guardian's consent.
13. That's amazing.
MultiCare restricts almost all parental access to a minor patient's medical record once that minor reaches age 13. Available information after this age is limited to immunization history and growth chart data. That's what you get. If you're a parent, you get their immunization history and growth chart data after 13. Nothing more. Ask us today how to get set up with your MyChart. There you go.
No. How about no? How about no on that? Wow.
I mean, so as a parent,
why do you care?
Washington State.
Let me play Neil deGrasse Tyson for a second.
Okay.
Why do you care? What's it to you? All right? What's it to you if a 13-year-old wants to make their own medical decisions? That sounds perfectly reasonable and sane, doesn't it?
Boy, so
wow.
So parents' access to their kids'
it's over.
Medical information. Is it fair to say you don't get those days back? Is it fair if you said that?
It's fair to say you don't get those days back.
In Washington State. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And that'll spread throughout the world. And California will be doing the same thing.
Those days don't come back.
Speaking of kids, this story is making the rounds. Teacher revealed that the student's parents legally named him something, which is pronounced ellipsis.
Yeah, just the three dots. That's his name.
All right.
That's the kid's name, just three dots. ...
In parentheses. I thought that was like they were leaving it blank. No. Okay, so it's pronounced ellipsis, but the child prefers to be called L. Okay, whatever. Again,
L.
Do I deny you the ability to do this or the opportunity if you want? No.
Got to be a heck of a signature, though. How do you forge that? Dot.
Really hard, right? Really hard to forge.
What's the cursive version of ellipsis?
A teacher was astounded when she saw an unusual name on her attendance register. Instead of a name, it was a punctuation mark in place of it. She said the student's parents legally named him ellipsis. ...
Oh, this kid's not going to have mental problems growing up.
Child prefers to be called L and writes this down on his class notes. The teacher could not contain This thought to herself and asked the parents why they chose the unusual name. I once had a kid that was legally called Ellipsis. His parents thought they were really clever. At a parents' evening, of course, I asked them about it. They said something about it representing his unlimited potential for greatness. Okay.
Kid's gonna be a meth head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my kid. It all started when my parents named me ... Been shooting up ever since. Golly.
Then we have this gem from CBS. People ages 25 to 44 saw an almost 30% increase in heart attack deaths over the first 2 years of the pandemic. According to a surprising finding without a clear explanation.
Without a clear explanation? What has caused heart attacks the last 2 years?
Why are 25 to 44-year-olds dying at a 30% higher rate than before the pandemic?
In fact, Pat, this study goes on to say that every age category shows a marked double-digit increase in heart attack rates.
Gosh.
That's just the most affected one, 25 to 54.
That's incredible.
But I don't know what...
We can't come up with any potential reason for that, though. Right? I mean, I'm baffled.
I don't even know where you'd begin.
I'm baffled. Is it the water? Did they look at the water? You know what it probably is climate change.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's probably climate change.
That's actually been floated as a possibility.
I'll bet it has.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I bet it has.
I mean, that's an obvious place to start.
Yeah, well,
Climate
it's the biggest existential threat we face.
Mm-hmm.
That and almost tied. It's like 1 and 1A, white supremacy.
Right.
The other thing. Yeah.
Right. I can see that. Yesterday we had the Colombian soccer girl, 18 years old, who collapsed during practice. She's apparently okay now. Yesterday we had video circulating of the tennis guy. What's his name? Yibing Wu. I don't know. He collapsed during a tennis match.
Is he okay?
That's jeez. I don't know what his status is.
We had Bronny James last week, who had a heart attack, at 18 years old, cardiac arrest.
Normal. It's climate change. Got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the young pop singer with the blood clots around her heart. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple more.
We had the football player, the 22, 23-year-old football player I think he's in his early 30s, but he had so many blood clots. He
retired.
He can't play now. Yeah, he couldn't pass the physical because he's got all these blood clots in his leg. Jeez, I wonder what happened there.
And by the way, Broncos wide receiver KJ Hamler been diagnosed with mild heart irritation called pericarditis. I mean, these are the things, obviously, we've been hearing about ever since the globe has been warming.
You're right. We
didn't have these problems before global boiling came on the scene.
Yeah, that damn global boiling.
By the way, I appreciate Rand Paul making a criminal referral to the Department of Justice over Dr. Fauci's lies about not doing gain of function, even though his own correspondence uses the phrase gain of function research. Of course, this will go nowhere with the Biden Department of Justice, but it'd be nice to see. Anyway. What was the... oh, gosh. Somebody is still requiring masking. It's July of 2023, and I saw a story... I got to find it if you're going to do that thing there, but I've got to find this because...
Find it while I tell everybody about fast-growing trees.
Very good, yeah.
Gardening is not only great exercise. It lightens your mood, reduces stress, lowers anxiety levels. Your amazing summer garden is just a click away with fastgrowingtrees.com. So it's not just trees. It's all manner of garden essentials for you. Fastgrowingtrees.com has thousands of easy-to-grow plants, shrub, and tree varieties expertly curated for your unique climate and needs. From Meyer lemons to evergreens to shade trees and everything in between. There's no more waiting in long lines, hauling heavy plants around. With fast-growing trees, you order online and your plants arrive at your door in just a few days. I love it because I was able to find the tree I was looking for our front yard, and it looks great. No green thumb? Not a problem for you. Fast-growing tree plants have experts that are just a Zoom, chat, or phone call away. always available and eager to help. They can even walk you through your entire garden to help solve problems that you have with your plants and trees. Plus, Fast Growing Trees plant experts have specialized degrees and training to help you troubleshoot from root to leaf. It's like telehealth for your plants. Join almost 2 million happy Fast Growing Trees customers. Go to fastgrowingtrees.com/Pat. Right now, get 15% off your entire order. 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com/Pat. Find out?
Yeah, I got it. Here we go.
All right.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So even though the CDC has admitted, masks don't work, the White House is on record as saying masks don't work. An old clip from February, or what is it, March 1st of 2020, of Dr. Fauci himself saying masks don't work. You've got it's for advanced students, Johns Hopkins University. They have this gifted students program where kids are still required to wear masks. It recently came to light.
Jeez.
Still. Stop with the child abuse.
After all this time, they just won't let go of this because they love the control it gives them.
Sad.
And that's why they're going to start another pandemic scare here. If they can't get COVID to panic us, they'll find something else.
The climate.
Well, they're already doing the climate big time.
The climate lockdown's coming.
Jeez.
Yep. Yeah, and if you have a child enrolled in the Johns Hopkins University gifted program for kids, you got to take them out. You got to say, my kid's not going to be wearing a mask here. Screw you.
Agonizing. Also, by the way, a 32-year-old biological man just won a women's pro tournament in Australia. 32-year-old Brianna Gill won the Australian Women's Classic professional golf tournament. Reacting to the victory, Gill said, "I always thought in my head that if I ever got the opportunity to actually win a golf tournament and the girls happened to come running out on the green, I was going to stand there and take it. I wasn't going to run away."
What?
Who runs away when they've won a tournament and people come out to congratulate them? What? Weird. Anyway, if you get yourself in that position, you just take it. It was so special. Isn't it, though, that a woman has not a woman. A man has won a woman's competition again.
Is he hitting from the ladies' tees? Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's got a penis.
Wow. I can't take it.
Okay.
Gill's victory quickly went viral, sparked a worldwide debate about transgender athletes competing against women. The comments were turned off because they got so much negative feedback from this. Why would you get negative feedback about a biological man competing against women? This is happening over and over and over. In fact, the Miss San Francisco pageant just happened, and who do you suppose won? A man.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
So, 25-year-old Lace, let's see, what is his name? Monroe Lace said a major goal is to be a role model for young children. Every time I put on the sash, the weight of it reminds me of the weight of my job, of the responsibility I have to make a difference for young children. Since the age of 12, Lace says winning that competition has been a dream. Appearing on CBS News, Lace is working to have an impact on the community. CBS showed Lace reading a book titled Sparkle Boy to a 4th grade class. Oh, good. The book depicts a young boy who wants to wear women's clothing. When Lace won Miss San Francisco as part of the Miss California pageant in March, she became the second ever trans winner of any local Miss America pageant.
Oh, so you're not even a trailblazer anymore. You're the second. What a loser. You're going to go find some other lie to live.
That's how far down the road we are. All right? It's not even unique anymore.
You're not a pioneer anymore. How's that make you feel, Mr. Lace? What's his name again?
Monroe.
Monroe Lace?
Monroe Lace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great.
Cool. So now he'll be at the little kids Easter egg hunt saying, "Hey, I'm a little kid. I'm the first kid with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Okay, well, not the first, but among the top 10 in that category. So isn't that wonderful? That's just great. And also, just so you don't make any racist mistakes, when somebody really smells bad, body odor, just enjoy it. Just sit there and soak it in. Because if you're offended by it, that means you're a racist. You're a xenophobe.
And did Chris Brady send us this story? This is from a couple of months ago. We missed this. This is fabulous.
New research claims that people with a sensitive nose for disgusting smells are more likely to be xenophobic.
Oh, stop.
Isn't that in and of itself xenophobic? Aren't you saying people from other places stink?
That's exactly what that sounds like.
In a study across 9 countries, scientists have linked a repulsion to sweat, bad breath, and smelly feet with heightened disliking for refugees.
What? Bro, I don't know. I don't know. This was the most bizarre study ever.
I mean, steering clear of stench is a natural mechanism that helps us avoid illnesses, experts said. But when working into overdrive, this may trigger hostility towards refugees who they suggest can be perceived as having dissimilar hygiene and food habits.
Still taking care of yourself is white supremacy.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. They've proclaimed, this is how racist they are. Mm-hmm. They pretty much proclaimed that every good trait is a white person thing. Mm-hmm. And we need to get over it because it's all racist.
All racist.
If you've got good manners, that's racist.
Yeah.
If
you're on time.
If you're on time, that's racist. If you seek to get ahead in your job, that's racist. And now, if you don't like disgusting smells, you're a racist, and it's likely because people are from somewhere else.
I can hear Jeff Foxworthy right now. If you don't like shoving your nose into a stranger's pit, you might be a xenophobe. I mean, what the hell is happening?
Here's your sign.
It's
incredible. Individuals more easily disgusted by body odor are also more prone to having negative attitudes toward refugees, the scientists.
Aren't we? Yeah, so they said body odor, the smell of urine, the smell of unfamiliar foods. I don't care if it's a familiar food. I get on a plane and somebody's eating fill in the blank. It doesn't matter if it's a bed of roses they're eating. I don't want to smell it.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, just Calvin Coolidge, always in my mind. One of the last things he said is
something like, I don't fit into this time.
No longer fit in with these times.
Yeah.
And amen, brother. And he was just concerned about the era of big government coming down the pike from FDR. Can you imagine some of the people from previous eras in this nation's history dropping in on us right now and just getting a status check?
I can't imagine it.
Oh, God.
My gosh.
Ooh-wee. It's
all
fun.
Right. Sometimes you wish there was another place to go other than this planet, right? Because it's just gotten so weird. Sometimes you just wish you were aboard one of the Voyager spacecrafts, and then you'd be billions of miles from the planet. You wouldn't have to worry about it. Of course, you'd be dead. But, I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about what we're going through here. NASA has just announced that Voyager 2, that's way out there beyond the solar system.
Very cool.
It's experiencing unplanned communication pauses.
Huh?
A routine sequence of commands has triggered a 2-degree change in Voyager 2's antenna orientation, preventing the iconic spacecraft from receiving commands or transmitting data back to Earth. Oh, that sucks. Because it's not like we can just send an astronaut out there and repair it. It is 12.4 billion miles away. 12.4 billion. Voyager 2 is one of the 2 twin probes. Of course, it would be twin, or if there's 2 of them. Anyway, they sent out these 2 Voyager vehicles in the 1970s to explore planets in the outer solar system. And they've both been out there working ever since. Voyager 1 is like 15 billion miles away. It's really incredible. But now they're hoping, and they won't find out until October, if they can course correct it. But it's so far away, the signal takes a while to get there and then a while to get back, so we don't know.
So am I reading this correctly? They were only built to last 5 years?
Yeah, and that was in 77 and 78.
Amazing.
And now here we are in 2023. They're still working.
That shows you that we just don't make things like we used to.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because now we're just crashing them into the side of planets. Forgetting to do the math right on that stuff and burning up in the launch pad. We can't launch when the clouds are over, as Jeffy has pointed out.
And he's irritated by that, disgusted by that.
But something that we expected to last for 5 years now
has gone on for almost 50.
Amazing.
It's really something. And, I always think of the first Star Trek movie where Voyager went out and came back, 250 or 300 years later, whenever Star Trek is supposedly taking place. But Voyager was the thing that came back. It was the Voyager 1, and they called it Voyager because it called itself Voyager because one of the letters was... Yeah.
That's a good...
Do you remember that? Have you ever seen this first Star Trek?
I don't remember.
So it had been traveling for so long and so many billions and trillions of miles that it became really super smart and almost killed humanity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.